Hey guys, this is James the Rambling Dasher, and welcome to an episode of Dashing in the Dark. So, just started up and we promptly got a little $8, 8 something order for Popeyes here in Benton, and we happen to be here. So, I am going to mark arrived, send this person a quick personalized message, and let them know that Popeyes, and I've got a clipboard statement that says is working on your order. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make your experience better. And then I send them a cheesy meme indicating that I am staring through the mini blinds waiting on the order. So, yeah. Oh, and it says not delivered. Why not? We're just going to go back in there and send it again. Except I don't want to send that one. I grabbed the wrong one. And then these people are like, you're good. I don't know what that means. You're good. Like, I don't know. And so maybe I'll just say thank you with an exclamation mark. I don't know. I'm just sending that because I have no idea what he's talking about. Anyway. Alright, we're going to run in here. We'll be right back. Alright guys, 9 minutes to get there, 4 miles away. Alright, so again, my name's James, the Rambling Dasher. I have been doing this channel since March or April this year, 2025. And I just go around rambling while I dash. Duh, right? So we talk about a lot of things, mainly door dashing kind of stuff, accepting orders, declining orders, avoiding car crashes, trying to look obscure to the police, you know, stuff like that, trying to make sure I don't get arrested for reckless driving or anything. So yeah, stuff like that. A lot of conversations around AR, whether I accept, decline, do I need to keep my priority or not? And I'm getting to a crossroads pretty close here. I'm down to maybe 79ish. Let me go down and look at my this is what I do at the start of every show. I go look at my ratings and we read out loud what my ratings are. So the ratings right now are 79% AR. I really start getting jittery when it hits 75 because I want the freedom to decline whenever I feel like it. So when I hit about 75, I'll just go on a rampage of accepting everything until I get back up to 85. And sometimes that takes quite a while because you've only got 15 or 25 declines over the last 100 orders. So if they're spread out quite a ways, it could take you a while to hit 10. So anyway, it is what it is. Completion is at 100. My on time is at 85. Quality is at 100. Customer rating 4.99. 175 deliveries in the last 30 days. And a total of 2,963 lifetime deliveries. So getting close to the 3,000 mark. If you haven't watched us before, I usually do 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the goal is to get $100 each night. If I don't get $100 on one night, then I might go a short night the next night. So a couple weeks ago, I did like 70 something than I did the next day and got $24 to hit 100, you know, something like that. And then I ended up working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that week. And Friday I got the $100, but Monday I didn't, Wednesday I didn't, so I worked Tuesday, Thursday. On Tuesday and Thursday, it's usually a 6 hour-ish. Sometimes if I hit the $100 and I feel good about it, I just go to the house. If I hit it beforehand, like before the 6 hours, or sometimes I work a little overtime to get it. Sometimes if I'm like nowhere close, I get a little discouraged and just like, well, forget that. I'm just gonna go to the house, you know. But anyway, there's whatever the feeling is that particular day. So right now we're so what happens as well is I do a 6 hour episode or 6 hour dash, but I split that into 2 different episodes on the YouTube channel. So this one here is the dashing in the dark episode that comes later in the evening. So we've already got way past our starting point, and I think we're at like $63 and some change right now to start out with dashing in the dark. But guess what? It's already 8:05 and we would like to quit at 10 o'clock. So that means I got to come up with about 20, I can't do the math, more like 37-ish, 36 and some change in less than 2 hours. So that's going to be hard. I can tell you that already, because I had $50 at 7 o'clock and I only got $13. I had $51, so I got $12 and some change in the 7 o'clock hour. So the 7 o'clock hour did not do me any favors. We're starting off the 8 o'clock hour with a little bit of a decent order, but I just got to get it up there and make up for what I missed last hour. So I don't know if we'll be able to do that or not, so we'll see. We shall see. Also getting a lot of questions about multi-apping, or I don't know what they call it, but you know, where you're delivering with multiple apps at the same time. And I don't know that that's something I want to get into, but I do hear people doing it. So this one guy said he gets orders all the time with that, and he declines orders all the time and doesn't worry about his AR because he has a backup app, like he's Grubhubbing it, or he's Uber Eats, and he's doing DoorDash at the same time. And I don't know that I want to mess with 2 or 3 different apps and trying to figure all that stuff out. That just seems like work, right? It's enough for me to be fairly proficient at DoorDash and knowing some nights I'm going to struggle, some nights I'm not going to struggle. And truthfully, I can tell you the easy thing for me is just to say, hey, I'm going to accept all the orders, and that way I don't have to worry about it. But then when I do, and I start seeing like, hey, here's a $2 order, here's a $2, here's a $3.50, here's a $4.50, here's a crap order after crap order after crap order, and you're never getting bonus tips on top of those. So you just get, you know, those little, you know, small orders that don't account for anything. And you would like to think that, you know, some people will say that, hey, I don't tip until you deliver the food. And I'm like, that's fine and dandy, you know. I may never get your order if you don't show a tip and it's only like $2, then I'm probably am going to decline it. So therefore you're not going to get the best of service, because you're only getting either newbies who don't know what they're doing, or people that just accept everything and you hope that they get it right. Anyway, so it's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't know, right, wrong, good, bad. It doesn't matter to me. It looks like I'm... One thing I will tell you that we normally have in dashing in the dark is a little ambiance light if I can get it to work. So it takes a little bit for it to turn on because it is a motion sensor in there. So sometimes it doesn't like to kick on immediately. And I have driven past where I'm supposed to deliver this food. So I don't know where the heck it was. Was it at that? No, it's not at the fire station because there's the fire station. Alright. We're gonna make a U-turn right in the middle of the street. So somehow this house is right on this road, which doesn't make it easy because this is a fairly wide road and busy road, and not a lot of houses right on this road. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking and get this delivered. We'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, we got that delivered. That was $8.75, so not too bad. It was $2.75 with a $6 base. And I got around and turned around in there somehow. Okay. Not a bad Popeyes delivery. So my light is messing up in the fact that it normally has a thing that will let it stay in a certain position, but it seems to be broken. So a little night light. So yeah, 72.50, 9 out of 14 deliveries tonight. So I've declined 5 so far tonight. That's a lot for me anyway, I think. So yeah. Now I can turn here to go to Alcoa. I can go straight to go back through Benton. I'm gonna just take my chances and go back through Benton again and just see what happens. But yeah, what does this say? It's 3 hours and 56 minutes, 72.50. So we're off the $20 an hour mark by just a hair. I did start a little later than normal today by about 15 minutes. That's why we're at 3 hours and 56 minutes, but 72.50. So it's not a bad deal. I still need $28 in the next hour and 45 minutes, and that it's doable, definitely doable, and we're gonna give it the best shot we can to try to hit this $100 tonight. So stick around. So here's what I tell everybody: like, subscribe, try to watch the whole video. Even if you set the phone or you're set it to play on your desktop off to the side, but it helps me out if you do that. Another thing that I half the time forget to mention in my videos is there's other ways to help me out. If you like the content and you want to buy me some gas, buy me a drink or whatever, we've got ways to do that. There's ways that you can do things that don't cost anything. They cost you stuff, but you get what you buy, but it helps me out with like a commission or referral bonus or something. So in the comments below, both in the description and in the first comment, should be left by the Rambling Dasher, will be a pinned link to our Linktree. So check out our Linktree. We put a lot of effort into that. We have a t-shirt shop where we have a few t-shirts, and we should be having more of those. And I'll tell you a new thing in our shop right now is my daughter is in Japan and she hasn't found a job. So we are trying to figure out just little ways for her to make extra money. So we've got some Japanese inspired t-shirt of the month in there. So the August one just dropped. So check that out if you have an opportunity to. It's priced a little bit more. So she comes out about $10. So whatever you pay, I think it's marked at $21, and you'll have to pay a little bit, like $4 or $5 for shipping. So roughly $24, $25 for the t-shirt with a custom design print, and they will ship it directly to your house. And so it's in our shop listed below. So every little bit you can do for her, that would be great. But any of the rest of that stuff, the t-shirts outside of those special ones, the Japanese ones, are my son and my daughter and myself. We kind of split those 3 ways. So, and there's not as much profit marked up in those. You'll see those for like $16.95. So maybe $5 or $6 profit in those, I think. But we wanted to do something where my daughter could get like 10 shirts. If she sold 10 shirts, she'd get $100, you know. So feel free to look in there if you like the Japanese ones. She would, you know, and she's moved to Japan. She moved to Japan. Well, when was it? In July. So she's been there over a month now. She's going to a language school to learn Japanese, and seemingly she's loving it. So I chat with her every few days. We do either just chat or video. She's met new friends there, and they go, I don't know what all they do, but she still gets on the phone with her boyfriend and her other friends here, and they do video games and whatever. It's a little tough because she's 14 hours ahead of us. But yeah, if you happen to check that out, that would be that'd be nice. If you happen to you like Japanese style merch, if you want something other, if you like the design and want it on something different, then let us know, and we can do custom whatever you want on your t-shirts. We can design it even, you know. I used to coach soccer, and I wouldn't pay for them. My parents would pay for them and get t-shirts for our team every year. So we might have a different design for our team based upon whatever they wanted the mascot to be that given year. And then I would try to keep those for at least a year or two, and then we move on to something else. So we incorporated the club name and then whatever mascot and a soccer ball somehow. So yeah, fun stuff, things you can do pretty easily. But yeah, we can do that kind of stuff. If you want something, just leave me a comment down below, and we can do all kinds of stuff with that. So anyway, check it out if you have a chance. It's in, you can't miss it in the Linktree link. It's in the shop. Also in there we have an Amazon store for the Rambling Dasher. All the stuff that we use when we're dashing, from food, a lot of food products that I carry in the car and eat snacks with, from granola bars to Cliff bars, which are granola bars as well. I found some happy something, I don't know what the heck they call it. I think it's just an Amazon brand of granola bar that's pretty cheap and really good. That's only like $1.50 a box or something like that, a box of 6, which just is kind of crazy because it's hard to find things that cheap anymore. For a 6-pack, that's like 20 cents a piece, you know, 25 cents a piece for $1.50. I don't know what it cost really, but it was really inexpensive. Compared to the Cliff bars, are more like $1 a piece, but they're much more, you know, supposed to be good for you, supposed to be healthy, and they're kind of like a meal replacement. it's hard for me just to eat a Cliff Bar for a dinner, but or a lunch. I've done it plenty of times, but usually you want more. But there's other stuff in there, like the mic that we use. Well, the newer version is in there. This is the old version I bought like 2 or 3, 4 years ago. Never really used them until now when I started doing this channel, and it wasn't till much after I started doing the channel that I even remembered that I had these mics, and I found them, and I was like, oh yeah, and figured out how to get them to work and all that. So we've been using them ever since, and the sound, it sounds so much better than listening to the sound coming through the phone. Because especially the fact that I have these mounted on the dash, and right behind them is the air blower, and yeah, you can hear that like crazy. But now it's up here with this little wind thing on it. It really cuts out the wind noise a lot, unless I roll the window down. But yeah, and it picks up your voice just perfectly. Anyway, so that's on there. The wireless charging mount that I have for my regular phone, and I take that phone in and out all the time, so I don't have to plug it in every time I get back to the car, and I just sit it in there and it automatically clamps down for me. So I really like that thing, so that I don't have to fiddle around with it very much. You just set it in there, it clamps down, and it starts charging immediately. So that's freaking awesome to me, because I used to do this without having that, and then you had to plug the phone in every time you got in and out of the car, because this Google Maps and stuff like that running full time will drain your battery pretty quick. I don't know what else I got 3 different kinds of nuts that I get on a regular basis, and just you know, make my own little granola bars. Not granola bars, but granola mix, like, and it's just, there's no reason to call it granola, really, right? It's cashews, pistachios, and almonds. That's all it is. So I get those quite often. I don't know what else. There's a few little clicks in there, like for Audible and for Prime for kids. I'm not sure what that's about. Something else that they have to offer. And there's a few other things in there. Oh, I have a tire air compressor for the tires that plugs into your cigarette lighter. So that works out pretty good. But yeah, stuff like that. So this here is me rambling a lot in a time that I should be getting orders. So 7 o'clock hour was pretty bad. The 8 o'clock hour is pretty bad. So yeah, I wish it were a little bit better. And the fact that I've already driven all the way through wherever I was. I drove through Benton, and now I'm about to drive through Alcoa exit with all the little restaurants here, and I'm having to dig around and find some charging. I have some extra chargers for my mic and receiver. Oh, I was like, why is that not working? There we go. So my mic and receiver, they last a good 4.5 hours, and then that receiver, the light starts coming on, so indicating that it's like running out of charge. So I just charge up these external batteries and keep them charged up, and then use them And they probably go a couple of weeks or longer doing this stuff, and to charge these little microphones. So there's one microphone and a receiver. The receiver plugs into the phone, so yeah, works out pretty good. So here we are driving through Alcoa. There was nothing happening over there. We're at Chili's and B-Dubs and Whataburger. It's 8:30. We're sitting at 72.50. This is where at some point, if I'm at 8:30, not even 8:30 yet, and I still got an hour and a half to go. I only need $28, which is two $14 orders, right? And I'm driving around and I'm not getting anything. So possibly I could get away with four $7 orders, but I'm not getting any orders. So it's kind of frustrating in that regard that I'm not getting any freaking orders. So I do what I can do. It's just all I can do is just drive around, and I'm not much one for sitting in a single place very long. So it's kind of like I don't go hunting, at least not where you have to go sit and be quiet. Interesting. So yeah, I don't mess around with that kind of stuff. I just get in the car and start driving around and go by all the hot spots and hope that I can find somebody that's going to give me an order. So right now it says estimated 1 to 4 minutes. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, it is what it is. We'll just keep driving, hope for the best. I'm trying to think of anything else. So I know there's some other things in that Linktree, but the Amazon store. So I am happy to tell you I finally got someone bought something on there. So I got my first affiliate link. So here's not the best order, but I'm gonna go ahead and accept it. It's $6 for 6 miles at KFC. Part of the delivery is getting there because it's a few 1.3 miles to get there, and then another 4.7 miles to deliver it. So, but I'm not getting any other orders, so we'll take it. And it's hard pressed to not accept anything below anything over $5. Used to, my cutoff was $4. Nowadays, if I see $4.75, I'm less likely to accept it, just because I know that it's going to take me just as long to deliver that as it will for other orders. So if I get two $4 orders in an hour, as opposed to taking a chance on getting two $8 or two $10 an hour, two $10 orders in an hour, I'm gonna take the chance and wait for a bigger order instead of a $4 one. And usually it'll pop up. So this $6 order is kind of like just over the limit. I don't necessarily like the mileage on this one, but we went ahead and accepted it because it was getting quiet and not me talking. It was getting quiet as far as the dashes were not coming. So anyway, all right, we're almost here. I'm gonna pay attention to get into the to KFC parking lot, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, 5 miles, 9 minutes. So we are on the way. I'm gonna go and call the kid, see how his day was at school, and we'll be back after we drop this food off. Sit tight. It'll only seem like a second for you guys, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are at, well, that was $6. And, oh, I just cleared it off, so I don't know. I hit the wrong freaking button. I hate that, the way that button works there. So, that was $6. I don't know what the base or the tip was, but it was $6. We're at $78.50, and we got 10 minutes till 9 o'clock. So, I need $22 in the next hour and 10 minutes. Is all I need. So again, another barn burner, cliffhanger, set on the edge of your seat, DoorDash night episode of Dashing in the Dark. I think they're all cliffhangers though. I mean, not cliffhangers. Cliffhangers is probably not the right word, but suspenseful night, waiting till the last second to get the dashes. So we're gonna try to do our best to get them all in. One thing I am concerned with here is I have to get my steps in before midnight, is all I know, right? And that means I'm gonna go home and get my steps in. So I am sitting at 71.59. So that's about a little less than 30 minutes. So as long as I can be home by 11:15, then I can get my steps in. Now I don't want to be dashing until 11:15. I want to be dashing until 10 o'clock. And then I want to go. I don't want to dash tomorrow. I know that. I got plans tomorrow. So anyway, I gotta cook dinner tomorrow. I haven't decided on whether I'm gonna fix spaghetti or barbecue chicken. So, if you have a preference, leave it down in the comments. Barbecue chicken or spaghetti. Yeah. I was trying to think of what we did this weekend. We played a lot of cards. We played a lot of cards. I walked the dog a lot. Oh, we did some household fixer-uppers. So 2 of the sink handles that have hot and cold water, they're separate. So we changed out the little inside stuff that, like, so when you turned on one or the other, it leaked water out of the faucet. So that's just this little mechanism in there that the spring has probably gone weak, or the rubber has gone not so rubbery, so it just kind of lets water through. So we changed out that whole stuff, that mechanism, on 4 of those knobs. Ooh, I don't like the distance, but it'll have to work. $9.50 for 7.7 miles. It is only one order, it appears to be. I will accept it, and it's 2.4 miles to get there, so that means 5.5 miles or so, maybe less, 5 miles delivery. So I haven't been to Sumo in a long time. My daughter used to work at this little restaurant here. It's not, I don't think it's bad. It's kind of just, truthfully, the owner of Sumo used to own, I think they've all shut down. Well, they've had more than one location of, I can't remember the name of it now. It used to be my favorite sushi place in Little Rock, Sakasui? Something like that. Sakasui, I think. So they used to have one in Little Rock over off of, maybe? Shackleford? Just up from the 630 intersection where Shackleford and 630 interchange down towards the Kroger parking lot. I guess that Kroger's still there, right at the base of that huge Emmanuel Baptist Church. Sakasui used to be in there. Then they moved out on Highway 10, and I ate there once. And then I don't think it's open anymore either. So now, and she had a Sumo Express in Benton, but it doesn't look, I don't think it's open anymore either. So now this Sumo is open here in Bryant, and I don't know if they have other restaurants or not, but anyway, it's good. I like it. And my favorite dish there is this, it's been a long time since we've eaten there. We just don't get Chinese or Asian food that much anymore. When my daughter was still here, we would get, especially when she worked there, we ate there all the time. But they came out with this pineapple hibachi, spicy pineapple hibachi. Oh my goodness, it made my nose run like crazy, but it was so freaking good. I need to find out if they still have that. I might just ask them when I go in here. Alright guys, I'm gonna run in and pick this up. We'll be right back. And guess what, guys? I'm at the wrong restaurant. This is what happens when you know where you're going. There's no need to pay attention to the GPS, except when you get there and you realize it's the wrong place. So fortunately, I realized it because the GPS was not letting me mark it as being arrived at the store. And I was like, what is going on here? It's not making any sense. So at that point, I realized it said Secura of Bryant, not Sumo of Bryant. And that's when I'm like, well, there's another late delivery. Because, yeah, I'm not going to make it there on time. So, we're going to go to Secura of Bryant, which has been around for a long, long time. It used to have hibachi tables, and I know they closed them down during COVID, and they kept them closed for a long, long time, but I haven't eaten inside there for a long while. So yeah, it's pretty good though. But at least it used to be. I think they've reopened the hibachi tables, but not 100% certain about that. But I think they have. Oh well. Let's see. Alright guys, we are almost there. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. We'll catch you after we pick up this order. See you in a second. Alright, we got 11 minutes and 5 miles. Oh. So, and it looks like I'm low on gas, which is gonna make it even harder to get my stuff in today. Alright, now I'm not gonna run the yellow light. I wasn't going fast enough. I don't know where this thing is taking me. Alright. It is very confused. Oh wow, it's way on the back side of Benton. But that's alright. We're gonna get it delivered. Also, there's no gas stations out this direction. This person just wrote, "Stop, I'm laughing so hard." I said, "You're welcome." Oh, well, that's funny. Laugh so hard to where you have some more money fall out into my lap. It says, "Literally made my day." This place has this big hump in the road right there. And I'm riding, and now you've made mine. Okay. I gotta pay attention here because there's roundabouts. We get to go through 4 roundabouts on Alcoa here. I try to avoid this road as much as possible. But maybe I can jiggle the gas up into that little funnel that it goes through to get to the gas, to the engine there. Maybe. Hopefully I'm not gonna run out of gas. Let's see. I got roughly a 10-gallon tank. I've averaged 24.2 miles to the gallon, which really stinks. Oh, I've hit 150,000 miles in this car. This person said, "Glad I could help." 225. So I probably have about 15 more miles left on this tank, which is not that much. But the gauge is a little bit high above the line on the empty. So, well, I don't want to test it out really. At the end of the day, that's not my goal, is to see how far I can take it. Right? I don't want to run the gamut there. Turn the GPS back on so I'll know where I'm going. I was talking about what we did this weekend. We did some house projects. So we had gotten, so this is a deal that's, I don't know, it's somewhat amusing, right? So I bought this house in 2016. Next summer will be 10 years. And it has a front porch, right? And when I bought it, it had a French porch swing. But when the people left, they took the swing with them. I was like, all right, fine. So I just haven't had a French porch swing in that amount of time. Well, probably 2 to 3 years ago, I found one just on Walmart. And I set it kind of off to the side and said, save this, but don't purchase it. Well, then all of a sudden it drops from like $200 down to $99 or something like that. And it's just a relatively cheap, you know, whatever, Better Homes and Garden. So, you know, a white painted porch swing. Comes with chains and all that stuff. So we get it. And when I'm gone, my kids stayed at the house and kept the animals, right? When we were going to Portugal this year. And they took care of them. And I said, I tell you what, I'll pay you extra if you do some stuff around the house. If you put that porch swing together, and I don't know what else they did, but they put the porch swing together. Well, here's the deal: is that thing was like, I don't know, it was probably about 8 to 12 inches too high up off the ground to be able for a normal person to be able to sit in it without jumping in it, right? So my son and I went to Lowe's the other day and we bought all this stuff, right? So I already had the things to fix the sink, the hot and the cold waters. But I bought some chain and I bought a coupler thing or whatever it's called. And so we got up there and we added that extra linkage to the chain. And got it down there where it swings at a normal level where a normal person can sit down in it, right? So we got that. We also, probably for going on at least 8 years, there has been this towel rack in the kids' bathroom where it came off the wall. And I couldn't get it back up there, and then I don't know what happened, but anyway, so the holes where it was in the wall stripped out, and then I did everything I could to try to just do those drywall anchors, and then put a screw in one of those. And they just kept getting the hole bigger and bigger, right? And so I was like, this is ridiculous. So I went to Lowe's, that's where we were, Lowe's, not Home Depot. And I found these things with they had springs in them. And basically when you go through there, it springs open. And so when you screw it in, it'll pull it back to the wall. And so we did that, and we finally, after about 8 years, we now have matching. Well, they don't exactly match because the one that we got back up there is a little bit taller than the other one, whereas originally they were both the same height. So it is what it is. But we have 2 towel racks instead of just the one now. So I'm very proud that we finally got that. And I made my kid do all this stuff. We also had the toilets were leaking water through the seal in the tank. So they would leak a little bit, and then that thing would run low on water and they would fill it back up. So I'm like, good night, this thing's driving. So we just bought these little rubber seals that go in there and replaced them in his bathroom and in my bathroom. So we got that taken care of. What else did we do? I bought a water hose and we haven't done anything with it. Maybe that's all we did. Maybe that's all we did. I really can't remember anything else. But that took us a little bit, I think, on Saturday to get all that stuff taken care of. So we got some stuff done, and then we just kind of vegged out on Saturday or on Sunday. I don't even know if we played cards most of the afternoon, went for a long walk, fixed pancakes for dinner, and I don't know. Oh, we played, so I bought this game well, maybe it was at Christmas time. Yeah, it was at Christmas time. It was this not a video game, it was I don't know what you would call it. Like a little, it's called Finders and Seekers. So you have to go through this thing and get clues and figure them out. And basically it filled out a grid, and you had to, I don't know, it was fill out a grid, and it came up with a saying at the end, and I don't know, I never did finish it. It's because I had to go walk the dog and get my steps in at the very end. Alright, now this is going to be hard because there's no freaking mailboxes here. It looks like it's 1, 2. That's not the right number. Is that? Oh, there's another house down there. Why can't I see numbers on your house, people? Is there numbers up there somewhere? I don't know. Hopefully this is the right house. Oh, there it is, behind the post. Okay, I'm going to deliver this food. We'll be right back. Alright, so that was $9.50, was $3.75 with a $5.75 tip. I didn't send them a message, so let me see if I can figure that out. I hate the app now. Okay. Return to Dash. So we're at $88. It is $9.19. I need a $12 order to finish this thing out, and we are a long way away from anything right now. So we're gonna take the next 10 minutes or so to get back to civilization. So anyway, I'm gonna hit pause, and we will be back when I get an order. See you in a minute. Hey guys, it's James the Rambling Dasher. We've been, yeah, I have no idea where you left off, but it's been a little while. So it is 9:37, so I don't think I've had an order. I don't know, it's been a bit, right? Enough so that I could fill up with gas. I've had 2 declined $3 orders, and I'm sure my AR is looking pitiful. And I just got a $9.50 order, so, and it was only like 5 miles or so, so it's just, and it's about I don't know, maybe less than a mile away, but it's at Casa Mexicana. So I am going to, I wish there wasn't, oh, look at that. I have a new meme that I have available. It shows from The Office, Dwight, Jim, and Michael with mustaches on in the car, and they're going to do some crazy stuff at the branch where I don't know what her name was in the show, Karen, I think, moved to. And so they're going there to spy on her because they were going to steal Stanley. Anyway, that picture of them driving in the car, and it says, "I'm on the way to get your food." So I just sent that to this person. Now I'm here, and I'm going to send her, or I'm going to go in and mark that I've arrived, right? And then I'm going to send them a message and say, "Hello," and their first name. And the name of the restaurant, Casa. For Casa Mexicana, I don't type all that out. And then I've got it saved in my clipboard. Is working on your order. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make your experience better. And send them another meme that shows me waiting on their order. Alright, I'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. So we seem to be having some kind of issue with someone. There's 3, maybe more police cars pulled over a car in the parking lot. I didn't even notice it until I was like parking and getting out of the car. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we have 4 miles, 9 minutes. Puts us at 9:52, and will put us very close to getting the 100. If I want to go over, I'm going to have to work some OT. Gonna have to work some OT, so I might just come into Bryant and get one quick order and go to the house afterwards just to hit that 100 miles. I hate not getting, $100. I hate not getting the $100, even especially if it's like 99 or something like that. But I know like Wednesday I can make up for it, or I might be $10 short on Wednesday. I don't know, But when you're this close, let's go ahead and take advantage of it. And even if I have to pull some OT. And you know what Trump says? No tips on OT. Yes. No taxes on OT, not tips. No taxes on tips. No taxes on overtime. Not that they consider me working 6+ hours, any kind of overtime working DoorDash. So, but really, for me anyway, I had a lot of mileage last year for DoorDash. I captured my mileage. I haven't been doing it this year, but last year I captured all my mileage. And then they sent me a report. I said about 14,000 miles, and they sent me a report that said 14,000 miles. And I was just like, okay, I don't know how DoorDash knows how many miles I went, but they can probably tell because they know how many miles. They know where I am when I accept the order, and they know where I am when I drop the order off. And therefore, there's your miles. And I had 14,000 miles. Now, I, on the other hand, would not think that that's the way it works. Now, I don't know. They may have some secret way of capturing mileage. I would not do it the same. I would say, hey, if I'm leaving my house, which is my office, right, to go DoorDash, then every mile that I use my vehicle on to in the search of finding business. It's the same as that if I had to go to a sales conference or a sales call. If I left my office and drove to go find sales and I have to go door to door at different businesses, I get to count 100% of the mileage from the time I left my office to the time I got back to my office, right? Well, my office happens to be at my house, and I left my house not for personal reasons. I left my house for work reasons, and therefore all of my miles I can write them off. And there's no reason why a DoorDasher shouldn't have a home office either. So that's another story. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. We got 4 more minutes here. It is dark, and we are out in the backwoods already. It doesn't take a couple of minutes to get out of Bryant into the darkness, I promise you that. I don't know exactly where this delivery is. There's one big neighborhood back here. I absolutely hate it because it just zigzags all the way through. I don't know why they couldn't put a road up one side and the other side and have all the roads connect all the way through. That would make it too easy. But no, they have to zigzag all the way. Like, you go in, you go up a ways, you turn right. You go down, you turn left, you go up, you turn right. Or turn left again. You go down to the end and you turn right, and then you turn right. And so it's just like zigzag, zigzag, zigzag all the way up. It's very frustrating. My lighting sucks tonight. So it looks like, well, it's on the back side of that neighborhood. So it goes past, there's 2 of them back, 2 of those kind of neighborhoods. This developer developed this property and he just like, oh look, we can just do zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And we did 2 neighborhoods just like it. And then there's another road that goes straight up the back side of it that has houses up there. So, okay. And it's a straight road. Obviously a different developer. It wouldn't bother me to live in the front part of this neighborhood, but if I have to drive back and forth every single day and I lived in the back of that property, yeah, I would get ticked. I'm ticked about it just having a DoorDash in there, and that's like once every 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah. Alright, let's get this delivered. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here so I can watch the road and try to see where this house is because it's really dark back here. So I will catch up with you in just a minute. Alright guys, we did not get a bonus tip from these people. It doesn't look like anyway. So we are 12 out of 19 deliveries. Wow, that's a lot of declines today. 5 hours and 37 minutes. That order was $9.50. It was $2.50 base with a $7 tip, which is nice. Much appreciated. We didn't get extra, but that's all right. We'll go back into Bryant, see if we can get one more order. Let's see, 5 hours and 37 minutes for $97.50. So I just hit continue dash. All right, I'm gonna turn these lights out and we are gonna sneak back into Bryant and try to get us another order. So we'll catch up with you when we do. Stay on the edge of your seat to see how this night ends. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, we have accepted an offer for $9 and some change, and it is got some mileage to it, 7 miles, 14 minutes. So we have already picked it up, and we are headed there. And I've already hit pause afterwards, so I don't get any other additional orders. But this put us way over the top. Now, I was thinking I might have declined an order, but I don't think I did. I just declined some orders beforehand. So, I tell you what, we are going to deliver this 14-minute order. I don't need to bore you guys with that. I'll bore you with the stats at the end. But yeah, sit tight, see where we're going to end up for the night, and we're crossing that finish line one way or another. So, and on top of that, guess what? I was at $97.50. The last person sent me a $2 tip. So that puts me at $99.50. And you know what else is interesting? I dashed on on Friday night. Saturday around noon, I got a $2 tip added to an order that I did on Friday night. That is like a delayed reaction. I was really surprised about that. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there because I totally forgot about it. So, all right, we will catch you up in just a minute. We're going to drop the pizza off. We're going to tally up our numbers for the day, recap the day where we finished with our ratings and all that stuff, and then we'll move on from there. So we'll be right back.
Because of the diversity and race essentialism.
Hey guys. Sorry, I don't know if I was listening to the radio while that was recording or what. But anyway, so we have delivered that order. I am going to, it says 6 hours and 8 minutes, 13 out of 20 orders, $9.25. It was $4 base pay with a $5.25, and we're at $108.75. So I am going to jump back over there, go to the home screen, send that dude one last message. But I didn't have internet when it was working, so all right. There we go. We got our light out for dashing in the dark. And now I gotta back out on the street, so just bear with me while I try not to hit this telephone pole or the ditch on either side of the street. And maybe no one will come flying around these corners either. Okay. All right. So, return to dash, end dash, end dash. 108.75 total. 6 hours and 12 minutes. 13 out of 20 offers. 108.75. Weekly payout schedule. Oh, it tells me that it's for August 25th. And I click done. So, good times. Let's take a look at the earnings. And we will go to today. 108.75. And just look at this stuff here. So 108.75. This was nice. I think I look at this for just for whatever reason. To me, if you're gonna have a good night, you need to have a very good. Let me get my light back on. A very good base pay to tip ratio, right? And a good 2 to 3. 1 to 2. I almost have 1 to 2 ratio. So 38.50 to 78.25. So that's 35 and 70 would be 1 to 2 or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but $1 to $2 tip. So $1 base pay, you get $2 tip. Usually, anyway, those are the nights that you have the best nights. If you got a night that you have more along the lines of a 1-to-1, like it would be tough to get $50 in base pay and $50 in tips. Usually, because that's just to me a very low tip for $50, and it takes a lot of deliveries to hit $50 base pay, especially because they don't pay that much. I mean, if you got $6 base pay consistently, I mean, let's just say if you got $50 base pay, that means you had 10 orders that were $5 a piece, or you had 11 orders that were $4.50 or something. I don't know exactly what the number would be. But you see how that kind of works. That you would have to have more and more orders and to have that. And hopefully the tips would be better. But any which way, to get $100, if you had $50 base pay, $50 tips, it just makes it really hard because to get a $50 base pay to me is hard. A $38 base pay, which is what we did tonight on 13 deliveries. You see what I'm saying? So 13 deliveries with a base pay of $38.50, you don't get that much money in base pay. Now, you might get more money in base pay if the tips are bad. I will tell you that. They've got the formula for it because I can deliver 2 orders that have the same distance, and one of them get a $6 base pay and the one of them gets a $3 base pay depending on how much the customer tipped. So if I got 10 miles and a $6 base pay, but then I get a 10 mile that has a $6 tip, well then I might only get a $3 base pay for $9. So the one I took for $6 for 10 miles, the other I took for $10 or for, let's say, $9 for 10 miles. Well, they pay you less if there's a tip. So I don't know what the formula is, but I can tell you they pay you less base pay if there's a tip involved. But anyway, so I do like to have a low base pay, higher tip ratio. 2 to 1, 1 to 2, whatever, is almost what I got tonight. $38.50 to 70-25, which I think is a pretty good number. So, okay, there's your blinker, finally. I had 4 hours and 14 minutes of active time, so 2 hours less than my actual time. Really? And I'm having to drive 20 minutes to get back home. So, you know, that to me is kind of tough, that all the time. So your active time is the time that you accept an order through the time that you drop an order off, right? That's your quote unquote active time. In a 6-hour window, I had 2 full hours of inactive time. So I had a 6-hour and 12-minute dash time and 4-hour and 14-minute active time. 13, and I don't know why this in here messes up. There's a glitch inside here where it shows offers and deliveries. I had 13 offers and 13 deliveries. Well, no, I had 13 deliveries and 13 deliveries. Sometimes you might have 13, they should change this to say 13 pickups and 13 deliveries. Because sometimes you might have 13 pickups and 14 deliveries. If one of those pickups was a, I'm going to go this back way. If one of those was a double stacked, right? If you had a 2-for-1 deal. So yeah, $108.75 on 13 deliveries. That's not the best. But obviously, I'm glad I had 13 deliveries, right? I don't know what that percent or what that cost or not cost, but price per or pay per delivery. Probably somewhere around $7-8. I can't do the math in my head, but let's look. $9.25, $11.50, $9.50, $6, $8.75, $5.50, $7.25, $10.50, $5.50, $8, $6, $8, and $13. So I had $11.50, a $10.50. That's it. $11.50, a $10.50, and a $13 order. And all of those, I don't even remember as $10.50 McDonald's. I do not remember that at all. I don't even remember going to, oh, that was that one way down in high school. Yeah, I remember that. I think they might have added tip to the end. I can't remember. Oh well, I don't recall. It was way earlier in the night. Yeah, but all in all, not a bad night. You get out there, you do, what does it say? It says end time was 10:27, so 27 minutes plus my drive home overtime. So it is what it is. But it'll work. It'll fly. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, so the other things I look at in here are the ratings. So let's go look at the ratings of what we had tonight. Our ratings tonight. So I don't remember all the things we started at, but we definitely dropped. Our acceptance rate is down to 78. Completion is at 100. Our on time is dropped to 83. Quality 100. Our rating is still 4.99. 180 deliveries in the last 30 days. So yeah, we added 13. I guess we were at 167 when we started today, and 2963 plus 13 is going to be 2976 and this calculates overnight. So yeah, feeling pretty good about today. I'm glad that we stuck it out and got the OT to get the 108. I'm glad that those last 2 orders were like over $18 for 2 orders. That put us over the top. Yeah, feel pretty good about that. So anyway, thank you guys for sticking around. I know it was I was beginning to question whether we were going to hit it or not, because I felt pretty good, but you just can never tell. We had some long streaks of no offers, and throw in some really lowball offers that we declined in there tonight. So I don't know if that helps anybody watching this to make decisions. I am concerned. I don't like, in my area, I don't like getting out of platinum status. So I've got a 78. When I hit probably 75, 74, I'm gonna just accept. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So tonight, I probably declined 1 or 2 orders that were $4 range. Maybe more. I didn't keep track of them. I declined a bunch in the $3 range. So, yeah, I don't know. So this is what I did the last time, and it probably just takes forever. Is I just accepted all the orders, and it took me probably a week to get from 75 to 85. It probably took me longer than a week, meaning 3 dashes. Probably took me longer than 3 dashes, 3 6-hour shifts. And I think that week that I was doing it was the week that I worked 6-hour shifts, then a 2-hour shift, and 2-hour shift, so I put in 20 hours that week, I think. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm almost to the house. It is 10:39, so it's taking me a little bit to get here. Thank you guys for sticking around. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe. Check out my daughter's shirts in the Linktree that's listed below. Much appreciated. If you see one in there, you see any of them that you like, check out Amazon via our links. The crazy thing is the person who we had Amazon commission from, they didn't even buy the stuff that we have listed. They used the link to get into Amazon and then bought something for themselves, which wasn't what we were selling, but we still got a commission. So if you just use our link and then go purchase what you want, you're helping people out. So why wouldn't you do that? That is an awesome thing that you can do. So if you aren't doing it for anybody else, then I ask you to humbly do it for me. Or I humbly ask that you do it for me. How about that? Anyway, hey, thank you guys. Have a good night. We will see you again. Another dash. Good luck out there if you're a dasher. Stay safe and make some money. We'll see you. Bye.